Hello, we are watching Rotary Ukraine news. Tatiana Tvila is working in the studio. The Rotarians global initiative Stop Polio has been launched in Ukraine last autumn. The Rotary Ukraine fight against polio is the main topic of this release. Watching the release, Polio got back to Ukraine. The children's protection is the everyone's business. The roundtable in Uzhgorod. New information strategy in the fight against polio consists in the parents' conviction that polio is very dangerous disease. Call and ask about the polio and vaccination. Free hotline will operate in Ukraine. These and other aspects of the topic next in the release. An open roundtable Polio got back to Ukraine was held in Uzhgorod by the initiative of the Rotary National Committee Polio Plus Ukraine. Doctors, educators, parents and journalists were invited to discuss the resonance problem of polio immunization. Details and results knows Inna Sarioglu.
Polio has returned to Ukraine. How we can protect our children? How we can stop polio? The participants of the open roundtable were discussing these topics in Uzhgorod.
Meeting in Uzhgorod is the second open roundtable as part of the Stop Polio Ukraine campaign. Public organization representatives, doctors, educators, parents and journalists were invited to discuss the resonance problem of immunization against polio. Rotary National Committee Polio Plus is the initiator of roundtable's realizations. The discussion was opened by Dennis King, the coordinator of World Health Organization.
Full credit needs to be given to Rotary International for identifying before 1988 the feasibility of eradicating polio. Because of Rotary's passion and courage, the 1988 World Health Assembly identified polio to be only the second disease to be eradicated from the face of the earth.
Since 1985, Rotary is actively fighting for the world liberation from polio. Rotarians saved from disease due to vaccination millions of children, together with WHO, UNICEF and other partners. Today, humanity is near to final victory over the polio. Polio Plus project has become a truly global scale. Since 1988, a global initiative that successfully more than 99% reduced polio morbidity worldwide has been established. We are now at the stage where the amount of polio remains in the world is very small. The strategic plan was envisaged that in 2019 it will be possible to expect complete overcoming polio worldwide. Currently, it appears that last step to this victory over the disease is very difficult because the vaccine must reach to every person. Only then we will stop the virus circulation in the world. According to organizers, the purpose of the roundtable is creating a Ukrainian society's positive attitude to immunization against polio. In 2015, the level of Ukrainian children vaccination in the age under 1 year dropped to 14%, and the consequences hasn't delayed. Last summer, we received disturbing news. 2 children fell ill with polio in Carpathia. One of the reasons that encourage parents to refuse from children vaccination is the lack of reliable professional information, roundtable participants noted.
Будь-яка проблема, вона повинна мати шляхи вирішення. У даному випадку одним із найкращих етапів такого вирішення
Any problem should be solved. In this case, one of the best stages of solution is timely information. When on the left and on the right from me are experts who are professionals in their case, then their explanation are sufficient to ensure every mom who is deliberates and the pros and cons about vaccination to receive professional response.
всі за і проти щодо щеплення отримали професійну відповідь.
Roundtable Polio Get Back to Ukraine in Uzhgorod took place a few days before the third round of additional vaccination. The main pediatrician of Zakarpattia region informs Zakarpattia is fully stored by vaccines. Vaccine is qualitative and safe. The expiration date is controlled by thermal indicator mounted on each bottle. The main pediatrician of Zakarpattia region appealed to journalists with request to treat very carefully of vaccination against polio coverage.
На вакцинацію приходить здорова дитина. Якщо дитинка є хвора, лікар їй призначив парацетамол, вона випила ложечку парацетамолу, їй стало погано, в неї
The healthy baby comes to vaccine. If a child is sick, now take paracetamol, drink a spoon of paracetamol, the child will feel bad, the child will have allergy. This indicator are all perceived as having themselves understood. Baby will be safely brought to the hospital where the necessary assistance will be provided. But if the reaction comes in response to the vaccine, note only if a healthy child was vaccinated. Because of this, the media cover polio vaccination currently. We ask for very prudent attitude to information dissemination. It will be best if you take commentary of medical consultant.
Тому просимо дуже виважено, а найкраще, якщо у вас буде у вашому засобі масової інформації обов'язково медичний консультант.
One of the problems that set themselves the Uzhgorod roundtable organizers is to debunk many myths about vaccination against polio. Many people are scared about the vaccination, and the problem lies not only in the needle. The alarming statements about the vaccine's dangers we all heard may create the impression that the vaccine is a big risk, but the human's impression of the risk is very unreliable.
Якщо з вакциною все гаразд, чому батьків тоді змушують?
If the vaccine is okay, why parents are compelled to sign the document that they are responsible for the child's health and side effects if something happens before the vaccination?
Якщо людина йде оперуватися завтра на простий апендицит, невже
If a person should have a simple operation for appendicitis tomorrow, is it completely clear that person will never have any risk during surgery? Smart doctor will never tell you that everything will be good at all. It is clear that when we make the vaccination, we do the intervention to the body. We give to child weakened infectious agent, but at the same time, we are sure that in 99,909 cases, your child will be okay.
в 999 випадках нічого з вашою дитиною не буде.
I'd like to add that the vaccine that was used here is what's called WHO pre-qualified vaccine. So the vaccine that was used in Zakarpattia met the very highest standards, international standards, for potency and safety. It's the same vaccine that's been used in every other polio-endemic country without effect.
An updated crisis communication strategy of UNICEF and Rotary National Committee Polio Plus to overcome polio outbreak in Ukraine was also announced at the roundtable. Everything that is done in terms of communication, it is necessary first of all being tested, and it tests with our main target audience, with mothers. This is what was said today, and it is tested in various regions of Ukraine.
Якщо ви пам'ятаєте, як починалася кампанія, це було щеплення єдиний оберіг, дитинка,
If you remember the campaign beginning, it was vaccination is the only guardian, small child, nice posters, but we can't positively fight with the negative circulated information. It doesn't work. Maybe we can, but we need a lot of money and a lot of time. Only thing to which we all came that we should remind people about such dangerous disease and its consequences. The head of the National Committee Polio Plus Rotary Ukraine, Serhiy Zavalsky, told about the initiative born after the first open roundtable in Kiev. It is creating community named Parents for Vaccination with the purpose of public control over the vaccine's quality, vaccination procedures and awareness in Ukraine. Next roundtable, Polio Get Back to Ukraine, Children's Protection is Everyone's Business, will be held in Lviv on January the 29th.
Rotary Foundation allocates about $100 million annually to implement programs which are intended to improve the lives of millions of people, including programs for such dangerous diseases as polio overcoming. When and how Rotary Foundation was established, Yana Tansura knows the answers to these questions. History of Rotary continues the news release.
The beginning of the Rotary Foundation history is in 1917. Rotary International President Arch Klumpf offered to create donations fund. The fund's target was to direct the collected money for good deeds. The sum of the first donation was $26.50. In 1928, fund has collected more than $5,000 and it was renamed to Rotary Foundation. Next year, the foundation made its first gift of $500 to the International Society for Crippled Children. 1947. The foundation established its first program, precursor of ambassadorial scholarships. More than 120,000 members were engaged to diverse Rotary Foundation programs since that time. In 1978, the immunization against polio of 6 million Philippine children was held with Rotary Foundation financial support. In 1985, the Polio Plus program was launched to eradicate polio worldwide.
Today, Rotary Foundation's mission remains as noble as its founders bequeathed. Help Rotary clubs to spread around the world understanding, goodwill and peace. Rotary's Tom's Dictionary, immediately after the ads.
Rotarian, official Ukrainian magazine of District 22 City. Rotary function in Ukraine and in all corners of the globe. Discover the world of Rotary. Multimedia publishing by the link under the video.
We are this close.
This close.
Tuturek Modes.
This close to making history.
Ofon Wantinti.
We are this close.
We are this close.
We're this close.
This close to changing the world. We are this close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease ever again.
We are this close to making history.
We are this close to ending polio.
Because we are this close to ending polio.
We are this close to ending polio.
We are this close
to changing the world.
This close.
All we need is you.
Is you.
Is you.
Is you.
We are this close. This close.
Be a part of history at rotary.org/endpolio.
Polio Plus, Rotary International's and Rotary Foundation special program with the highest priority for polio eradication. Mission of Rotary. The mission of Rotary International, a worldwide association of Rotary clubs, is to provide service to others, promote high ethical standards, and to advance world understanding, goodwill and peace through its fellowship of business, professional and community leaders.
Coming soon, the possibility to get experts' answers to the questions about polio vaccination by calling a free hotline. Nowadays, the line is testing, and technical and medical experts of the World Health Organization and UNICEF carry out trainings with apparatus. The hotline creating is one of the stages of the Stop Polio Ukraine global initiative. The sad news came from Pakistan. 15 guardians of eradicating polio mission went west because of the terrible explosion on the 13th of January. The guardians protected the doctors' team which do the vaccination. Nowadays, Pakistan is one of 2 countries where the polio virus remains endemic. The third round of immunization against polio was began in Ukraine on the 25th of January. What Rotarians in the regions think about the Rotary club's target in the fight against polio? Rotary Club Uzhgorod Skala past President Yaroslav Safar's interview of next.
The best way to draw attention to this problem is a personal example. I have a little daughter, she's 6 years old, and I'll also vaccinate her. Last year she got vaccination in 2nd time. This year we should vaccinate her the 3rd time. Everybody understands that it is necessary, that we can overcome this terrible disease in this way. For people understanding how it is in the world, our club and I personally transferred $250 to the Rotary International bank account. I know when there are some donations, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will add another $500 to our $250. It will be $750. It is the price of 1,250 vaccines, because the price of one vaccine is only 60 cents. It is 1,250 vaccinated children, and in this way, by personal example, we will overcome this disease.
Rotary National Committee Polio Plus continues to hold open roundtables in different regions of Ukraine. The meeting's purpose is to positively affect the public opinion on polio immunization. 7 roundtables will be held during the January and February in Lviv, Dnipropetrovsk, Poltava, Kharkiv, Odessa, Vinnytsia and Rivne. That's all the news for today. Send us the information about your club's events to rotary@college.tv and we'll cover them in the nearest news release. See you in a week.